We're treated as a nation that's fully developed. We're not fully developed as far as I'm concerned. When you look around at Portland and you see what these Democrats are doing to our cities.
All right, that was President Trump during his Labor Day news conference earlier this afternoon. He mentioned Portland, Oregon as a city that is holding the country back. We're going to bring in now former police officer Brandon Tatum to discuss the state of affairs. Brandon, good to see you again. 100 days of protesting now. We've been watching this. What's your reaction to that?
Well, these people are out of control. The leadership is completely failed. There's no way in the world, and not in this country, that people should be rioting 100 days straight. This is not protest. What Martin Luther King did, that was protest. What they're doing is looting, they're rioting, they're bludgeoning people, they're setting things on fire, people are getting hurt and killed in these incidents. So they're not doing what people would say is covered under the Constitution. These people are anarchists, and they need to be stopped.
I couldn't agree more. With Rochester now is the new one after the guy was, I guess, on PCP and spitting, and they put the cover over his head and he died. With that new hotspot, do you think this just carries on? When does this end? The election? After?
I'm not sure, because after the election, they're going to be even more sad after President Trump landslides Joe Biden. So I think they're going to continue to go down this path. Right now, they're working on a strategy to try to make America as chaotic as possible, so people are dissuaded from going and voting in the 2020 election. But I'll tell you this, man, it's not going in their favor. Nobody in America wants to see people eating in public, being bludgeoned or being harassed in a racist manner. This is not people that are protesting and being peaceful. They're literally being racist against white Americans. That's unacceptable. You don't fight racism with racism. And they don't have a point plan that at the end of this, they have something they can claim they accomplished. They're not going to accomplish anything. They're doing nothing but causing problems in our country. And I'm telling you for the second time on the show, they need to stop. They need to be met with real force by the police agencies, or this stuff will never end.
And there's such a hard time getting that done when most of the places this happening in are run by Democrats. You know, it's like the new thing right now. It's almost trendy to be pro BLM, pro this, and anti-cop. As a former police officer, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it makes me sick to my stomach that people can look at heroes wearing uniforms and look at them with despise, when they are out here protecting and serving and making sure that our country is the best that it can be. They're protecting constitutional rights. They're acting according to the law. And some thug criminal decides that he wants to stab a police officer, put a gun on a police officer, and he gets shot. I mean, that's 2 + 2 is 4. I don't understand how people are upset with that. And the fact that we've been able to deliver a narrative that paints law enforcement in a bad light, that is a recipe for disaster for the United States of America. And if we don't get this under control, we're going to lose our country forever. And it's going to start with not having law and order and people getting killed at higher rates. We've already seen the murder rate go up in many of these cities. It's going to continue to go up in these left-leaning liberal cities. We need to get it under control, or we're going to have a big problem in America.
You know the Jacob Blake story. You heard the story. What do you think of Drew Brees wearing his name on the helmet? What do you think of Kamala Harris saying that she's proud of him? What in the world is happening in this country?
These people are complete clowns. That guy sexually assaulted a black woman. I mean, he did it in horrible fashion. Then he's back over some other woman's house doing domestic violence. And then he fights police officers. Had one police officer in the headlock. They tried to tase him twice. He ended up having a knife the time he was shot. I mean, this is a thug. This is a person that's an embarrassment to our country, an embarrassment to other black people. And they're sitting here pandering to this joker. And it makes me furious that Drew Brees and other lame people that are in athletics that have white guilt or whatever you want to call it are out here supporting people that are the scum of the earth. This guy is lucky he's alive, and clearly the police officer didn't try to kill him. They did their job. That's the only reason why he ended up surviving. But this guy is a scum of the earth, and everybody who supports him should be ashamed. Not one person is exempt from it.
Yeah, and with Drew Brees, you know, I mean, we watched the evolution of what happened to Drew Brees. He started off saying something that you and I would probably agree with. He was pretty common sense, and he got all the backlash. And then all of a sudden, now he's in a position where he's probably scared, mortified of losing his career, his job, his money, whatever he's got, his endorsements. So now he's, in my opinion, forced by the laws of cancel culture to put that name on his helmet. That's where a lot of people are, though. I mean, it's like people are forced to do these things they don't want to do because you're so scared of what's going to happen if you get labeled a racist.
Well, let me tell you this. He needs to grow a pair, because you got to be a man when you do this stuff. If you're going to come out and be a leader, then you need to be a leader 100% of the time. There's not one person, not one fear tactic is going to make me go against what I know is right. And Drew Brees is not exempt from that. He needs to do what's right. If he's not, then he's a coward. It's that clear. Now, I know some people may be put in a precarious position where they lose their job, they lose their family. That's not Drew Brees. That man got money. He's been doing stuff in the community for black folks for a long time. And then he's going to back down like this. That's not the way that you should be operating as a strong man in America. And I think that he needs to braven up. And I think every man that's watching this, you do your responsibility and stand by the truth. And don't worry about what people are saying about you if it ain't true.
Yeah, it's good to hear some common sense. Brandon Tatum, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
And thanks for having me.